Bonjour and welcome or welcome back to my channel. Claude here. I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be doing the review of a tarot deck that I really love. It's called The Journey of the Sacred Bee. It is by Kelly Burton, if my memory serves. So I also have the Oracle deck that matches this, and I will be reviewing it and probably publishing the video next week. So this is the box. So it's a hard box, so that's the front of it. It's all beautiful teal. So there's the bee there, the title, and the back looks like this. I hope you can see it. And it's a beautiful magnetic box that you open like this. And inside the box you have a beautiful proverb: the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, Lao Tzu. And then inside you have the deck, the guidebook, but I want to show you the box first. So it's got a very thick, beautiful teal turquoise ribbon. You've got the bee still over there, and at the bottom here, I hope you can see it. And then you've got some sacred geometry going on in the middle here, and it says your journey begins here. So that's the beautiful box. It came super quickly, by the way, and I purchased it from her website, and I will leave everything that you need in the description box below. And it came with this really nice thank you card with her website right there, sacredsoultarot.com. And I was very excited about this because a portion of the proceeds goes to the education and conservation of the bees, and this is something that's very dear to my heart, so I was really excited about that. So that's for the box. Then we have the little guidebook. So it, as you can see, it's matte, it's really nice. Same picture at the front. This is the spine. And at the back it reads, where there are bees there are flowers, and wherever there are flowers there is new life and hope. And that is from Christy Leftery, the beekeeper of Aleppo. Then there is a second quote from Albert Einstein: if the bee disappeared off the surface of the globe, then man would have only 4 years of life left. No more bees, no more pollination, no more plants, no more animals, no more man. So I really like that this is supporting bees, just generally speaking. So when you open it, it says The Journey of the Sacred Bee, Kelly Burton. That's the person who created it. Then you've got a few little bee musings, so a few facts basically about bees right here. Then your table of content, so how to use the tarot deck, phases of the journey, doing a tarot reading, 3-card spreads, Sacred Bee Adventure spread, New Moon Tarot spread, 4-card elemental enlightenment reading, using the journey of the Sacred Bee for journaling, the Major Arcana, the Minor Arcana, all of the suits, sacred geometry, and the dimensions of the tarot deck itself. So you've got a little paragraph to welcome you and how to use it. You know, how to connect with it basically. And then there is the concept of the phases of the journey, which I find very interesting. So the journey of the sacred bee is divided into 4 phases: consciousness, society, individuality, and spirituality. This journey mimics the archetypal encounters that we have as humans. First we become into being or consciousness, then we must learn how to be social creatures and understand the laws of living amongst others. We then go through a process of self-understanding and how we fit into the physical world, followed by a spiritual quest for understanding universal laws. And the numbers below correlate to the number of the card of each major arcana. And this is a diagram that illustrates the journey. And so you can see it goes from 1 to 7 here. I hope you can see it. Society. From 8 to 14 is individual, and from 15 to 21 is spiritual. And the line for consciousness goes between 0, 4, 11 and 18. And obviously real life does not happen in a nice linear fashion like the diagram above, but you know, they're trying to explain that this is the idea behind it. Then it goes on to doing a tarot reading, and so you've got 3 card spreads with options, you know, different meanings for each card. You've got the Sacred Bee Adventure spread right here, which has 5 cards. Then you have a New Moon Tarot spread, that one has 6 cards. And then you have the 4-card Elemental Enlightenment reading, which follows the elements. You draw 4 cards, and air, water, fire, earth. Air being what you think, water, feelings, fire, inspiration, and earth is sensing, as in your physical senses. Then it goes on to explain on how to use the Journey of the Sacred Bee for journaling, if you so wish. And then it moves on to the meanings of the cards, so the major arcana. So you get a black and white photo of it, and you have a practice always underneath the card. Then you have the title with the number, the Hebrew letter that it corresponds to, and the element, and you can see they're there in the corners of the cards. Then you've got the journey, which is where the bee is in its journey, and then the divinatory meaning. So if we look at, for instance, the beginning, so the journey, which obviously is the Fool. Practice. Explore new potential, know that you have undiscovered abilities to take a leap of faith and follow your dreams. And then you look at what the journey is for the bee, and then what it means. And it goes on for every single one of them. And I really like that little bit, the practice bit, because it makes it more down to earth for me, you know. So it goes on through all of them, and I'm going to show you the cards obviously, and it'll be nicer because it'll be in colour. So you got all of those, and then it moves on to the minor arcana. And you have a nice rectangle here for each suit, suits of wands with the symbol, what wand does, and then a little paragraph for each of the cards. Now in this deck, the pages are Princess, Knights are Knights, Queen and Kings unchanged. So that's Wands. Then you've got the Suit of Cups, so same thing for the Suit of Cups. Then the Suit of Swords. Oh, it's difficult to turn the page, sorry. Yep, the Suit of Swords. And then discs for the coins or pentacles, no matter how you want to call them, but you know what they are. And it's very informative without being fluffy, without being a big guide that describes to me, you know, what the picture is instead of telling me what it means. I really like that. It's to the point and I enjoy that. Then you have a couple of pages about sacred geometry because the deck is kind of built around it. So she explains sacred geometry, the flower of life, which is the drawing I showed you at the beginning in the box here. That's the flower of life, so she explains where this comes from. The Tree of Life, I'm sure you're familiar with this. Then Metatron's Cube, the Vitruvian Man, and then she talks about the dimension of the deck because she made sure the deck was 5 inches tall, and she wanted it to be associated with number 5, and she explains why and talks about the golden ratio. I'm not going to read it all because, you know, you can read it if you want the deck, but this is why it's 5 inches tall. So that's a really, really nice little booklet. I really enjoy it. It's practical, it's not cumbersome, it folds nicely into the box, so I'm happy. And now let's move on to the cards. Now, I am biased. I absolutely love turquoise, teal colors, and I also like purple. These are my 2 favorites, and purple is the color of the oracle that matches this. So firstly, as I said, they are 5 inches tall. And you can see I've got average size hands. You can see about the height and the width. They're nice, they shuffle nicely, they're not too big. As you can see, they've been beautifully edged in a teal matte gilding. So that's really nice. And on the back, you've got some sacred geometry and some metallic bees. So, you know, one up, one down. So if you practice reversals, you won't have a problem with the deck. The cardstock is really nice. As I said, it shuffles like a dream, but it will sustain, you know, a lot of use, so I was really happy with this, and it's matte stock. So let's start. I'm going to start by showing you all of the major arcana, and then I'll go suit by suit. So we have the Journey, which is the Fool, the Magician, the Priestess for the High Priestess, the Empress. I hope you can see this, that I'm not out of my frame. Let me put the box here. There we go. The Emperor with the red color, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot, Strength, the Hermit, the Wheel, Justice, the Hanged One, and I really like the head with the bee right there, Death. Let me show you closely. Alchemy, that's Temperance. The Devil, I think that's a really nice picture for it. The Tower. The Star, now I think it's beautiful because I really love the detail on the card, on the texture. I hope you can see this. I really think this is stunning. It really has a stunning imagery. It's very dreamy for me. The Moon, beautiful again. The Sun, Judgment, the World, and then I'm going to move on to the wand suit very quickly. So this is the Ace, and you have a keyword. You see, for the Ace it says Roots of the Power of Fire, Two of Wands, Dominion, Three of Wands, Virtue. So you do get a keyword for the minors. Four of Wands says Perfected Work, Five of Wands, Strife, Six of Wands, Victory, Seven of Wands, Valor, Eight of Wands, Swiftness, Nine of Wands, Persistence, Ten of Wands, Oppression, and then you move on to the court card, so the Princess of Wands. I think that's stunning. The Knight of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Wands. I mean, look at that. Now, if you are bothered by the keywords, to be honest, the art is so beautiful that you can blank it, you don't really see it. I mean, when I read with it, I don't really look at the keywords, I don't even notice they're there. So it's not a big deal, because sometimes for me, keywords are a problem if they're in your face, but not with this deck. Okay, so then we move on to Cups. So this is your beautiful Ace, and you have the keywords at the bottom for this one, the Root of the Powers of Water. Then you have your Two of Cups, Love, Three of Cups, Abundance, Four of Cups, Apathy. That's funny because that's the word I use when I read. Five of Cups is the Disappointment card, Six of Cups, Pleasure, Seven of Cups, Seduction, Eight of Cups, Renounce, Nine of Cups, oops, sorry, I jumped it, Happiness, Ten of Cups, Satiety. I hope I pronounced that okay. Then you've got the Princess of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups. I think they're all stunning looking, to be honest. And the King of Cups. Love the big waves and, you know, how he's riding the tumultuous water. I think that's really well done. Next we have the swords. So there's your Ace of Swords with the keywords at the bottom, root of the powers of air. So then you have the Two of Swords, peace, the Three of Swords, sorrow. So you can see it's based on the Rider-Waite's, by the way, just by looking at the keywords, but you can use your intuition to read it. The Four of Swords, recovery. Five of Swords, defeat. Now, I don't necessarily agree with, you know, the meanings. For instance, for me, the Five of Swords is a victory that came at a cost. But, as I said, I don't read the keywords, so, you know, don't let it put you off. It's a beautiful deck. Six of Swords is earned success. Seven of Swords, futility. Eight of Swords, interference. Nine of Swords, despair. I think that's a beautiful Nine of Swords, by the way. Ten of Swords, ruin. You see, that's obviously the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith type of picture, but I find that very hard to see the bee like that, but that's just me, I'm sentimental. A Princess of Swords, Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords. I love this. I think that's stunning. Okay, and finally we're going to move on to the Earth suit. So there's your Ace of Coins or Pentacles with the keyword at the bottom, the root of the powers of Earth. So then you have the Two of Discs, as they call it here, change. The Three is effort. Four is power. Five is worry. Six is altruism. Oh, sorry, I jumped the seven. Seven is patience. Hope you can see this. Eight is mastery. Nine is gain. I really like this imagery. I think it really represents it nicely. And 10 is wealth, and that is my favorite in the Minor Arcana. I mean, look at this. This is so pretty. Okay, and then you have the Princess of Discs, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. So there you have it. So this was the journey of the Sacred Bee tarot deck. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really personally love it. I think it's incredible quality. The box is awesome because it's not too big. It keeps the cards really nicely in there. This is one of the few decks that I've not rehomed in a pouch because I like the box that much. The guidebook is really nice, to the point, explains a lot of things. And as I said, some money goes to education and looking after the bees, which I think is fantastic. And the quality of the cards, the imagery, everything, to me, is just a gorgeous deck. Obviously, these are just my opinions. I'm not affiliated to the creator. I'm just telling you what I think. Now, as I said, I also purchased the Oracle that's matching it. It comes in purple, and I will review it and publish the review next week. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you have a great day, and to see you again very soon. Until next time, au revoir.